My name is Jessica Symmes. I am a nurse and actually a nurse practitioner, and I teach an honors section here at Grad University. So if you were to ask any former nursing major about the rigor of a nursing program, they would probably be quick to tell you that it's a pretty intense schedule. In my undergrad, I was thankful to be able to pursue many of my passions in that I was able to get my nursing degree while also being active in the GCU dance department and working for the GCU Honors College as a liaison. I realized pretty quickly that the busier I was, the more productive I would be. So if I knew I only had 1 or 2 hours to get a section of a paper done during that week, I would have no other choice to do it. I would be less tempted to fall into the procrastination that I think gets most college students. I tell my students in my section, make sure that you're planning your week early in the week. So not only would I make my task list, but also organize them prioritize them based on the importance of them getting done. And I think when you're preparing in the beginning of the week, you're a lot more successful and productive throughout your school schedule. In a busy schedule, the eating an elephant one bite at a time becomes extremely essential. And being able to compartmentalize also eases the stress that comes with a busy schedule. The work-school life balance for me was pretty simple. I had a super supportive family, so they were able to kind of pull me out of the depths of my studying when they knew they needed a break. And I think that's something that I'm still continuing to work on into my adult life. In school, I love to watch the TV show Friends, like I'm sure every other college student did. So I would take my Friends link break and it would be 22 minutes of pure joy. And then I would go back to studying or working on the paper or whatever I had to get done. And I think that's true. Everybody deserves a break. You're more productive when you're taking those breaks. It helps you avoid burnout, and then you can go back and be more productive in whatever you're trying to accomplish. I think, simply put, the Honors College opens doors and serves as a sort of a catalyst for their students into their professional careers. I learned or honed in on many skills such as networking, interviewing, and kind of optimizing a space for effective leadership through honors. In my early years of college education, I met a lot of people through honors that are still influential in my life today, and I have received so many amazing opportunities and still are receiving opportunities even post-school due to the Honors College. I think one of the most important parts about honors for me is the second family that I gained by being in the Honors College. When you're coming into or being a new college student, you're leaving a sort of normalcy of maybe living with your parents, high school activities, taking maybe lower level classes, and then all of a sudden you're in a dorm, you're meeting new people, you're taking these higher level classes, and it can be kind of overwhelming. And I feel like the Honors College was always an open door, and I always had someone to talk to. They're extremely approachable, and being blessed to even work for them then I was able to even more experience that family life and was able to blossom throughout school and take that into my professional career. So currently I work as a medical surgical oncology nurse, and then more recently I've also started to integrate into a family practice as a nurse practitioner. So as a bedside nurse, you'll get an assignment of patients and you'll kind of be in charge of navigating their care plan for the day, whether that's medication administration, communicating with providers, using preemptive discharge planning. More frequently, I'll actually act as a charge nurse on the unit, which I really enjoy that role. So in that role, I will be over multiple units and kind of serve as a escalation point for nurses. So they can come to me with a tough skill, a deteriorating patient, or if a patient concern needs to be further escalated, that's the role that I'll function in. I also will communicate with house supervisors to facilitate staffing for the next shift and also work on throughput of patients in and out and around the hospital. As a nurse practitioner, it's a little different in practice because you have more autonomy as you are the provider and you are dealing with the patient's health day to day. So whether that's interpreting labs or tweaking daily medications, you provide over a continuum of care over many ages. I started nursing. I graduated with my undergrad in 2019. I started as a new nurse in 2020, and it was actually a week before the first quarantine hit. So I don't think any new grad probably expects to be in a pandemic their first year as a nurse. But what I will say is you're going to learn at an exponential rate no matter what's going on in the nursing industry. And I was blessed to be placed on such a supportive unit as a new grad, and I never felt alone. And I always felt that my learning was kind of cultivated by nurses that wanted me to succeed, which it's easier to be passionate about nursing when you're in that environment. When I was asked to come back to teach at GCU, it was the easiest yes ever. I received my bachelor's, my master's, and now am a doctoral candidate here at Grand Canyon. So I think it's safe to say I bleed purple at this point. But more importantly, I am extremely passionate for what honors does for their students, and I'll take any chance to talk about how wonderful nursing is as a profession. In my opinion, I think nursing is more of a calling than it is a choice, and I'm blessed to be in a position in my honors section to navigate these students' early education to prepare them for success in their profession. There's a culture in nursing because it is a tough profession and there are harder days that nurses will tell future nurses, don't do it. Don't be in this profession. And I really do think it's actually more about finding your place. I have fallen into, as a new grad, a unit that is spectacular, and that's still the unit that I work on. The supportive energy helps you care for your patients in a way that is a team sport. Everybody wants you to succeed, and some of my coworkers have become lifelong friends on the unit. I tell my students every single class, we need you. And that's, simply put, baseline. We need competent and passionate nurses to be coming into the field to take care of these patients and continue on the legacy of this profession. So my goal as a professor is to give my students the tools they need to build whatever career they want to in nursing and kind of succeed in this profession by giving them real expectations, the day-to-day of what nursing looks like. I would say my favorite part of teaching is probably the connection, the bond that I make with my students. At the beginning of every class, we always start with a check-in because I really am interested to hear about their lives. I want to know the good, the bad, the stressful. I want them to know that somebody's listening and that they have a place to come to in these overwhelming first years of college. I think another favorite part is to see the drive and the passion and the determination that these students have to become nurses. And it makes me so excited for the future generation of nurses we have coming. And if I can be even a piece of that, that's a dream come true for me. Nursing isn't easy. Nursing school definitely isn't easy, but it is absolutely worth it. There are people that I have met in the nursing profession that have been extremely influential in my life today. You are going to have tough days on the floor. You may lose that patient. You may have a tough assignment, but you'll have one moment that with a coworker or a patient or a family that reminds you why you chose to go into nursing in the first place. My biggest piece of advice for nurses is to remain curious, be kind, and be the kind of nurse that you hope to learn from someday. I think this field needs more nurses, and we need people who are passionate about this profession. As far as the Honors College goes, it is truly a build your own experience. I think you absolutely get out of it what you put into it. So take every single opportunity you can, be at the events, be present, and always come prepared with an elevator pitch. So my honors course, the biggest goal is to give them the day-to-day and real expectation of what it looks like being a nurse. I want to give these students the tools to build whatever career they want to be successful in this profession by telling them about building a resume, being able to interview, tips for new nurses, how to best experience your nursing school time to get the most out of it to be successful in the floor after you graduate. I think the most common questions that I receive are more mythbusters because I think they hear so many rumors about nursing, about what the day-to-day looks like, how many opportunities there are within nursing, as well as what advanced education looks like in the nursing field. I am a doctoral candidate here at Grand Canyon, but I also chose to go the nurse practitioner route as well. So I'm glad to have a little bit of experience to kind of talk them through different opportunities they can take. In addition to being a nurse, they can continue on education and really choose whatever career they want inside of the facet of nursing. The common topics that I like to touch on is what it is to really be a nurse. We go over the Nightingale Pledge, which is basically what nursing is essentially founded on. And we go over tips for interviewing as well as how to take mental health breaks and how to avoid burnout in the workplace. I want to prepare these students with tools that they can use to build whatever career they want in nursing and to walk into this profession feeling like this isn't new, this isn't strange to them. I think when you have a goal and you know what you're working for, you can be a lot more productive in choosing the right actions for you to succeed. So I don't really feel like I knew what nursing truly was until my fourth semester of nursing school, which seems kind of crazy to me now, because I do think anytime you're wanting to start a goal, you have to set certain standards for what you're working for. So if I can be specific for these students into certain skills and attributes they're going to want to build going into their career, my hope is that they can have 4 years to work on this and not just a semester. So one of the things that we do within my course is build a resume that they can continue to build on throughout their course, throughout their time at GCU, so then hopefully by the time they're graduating, they're ready to be competitive in their field. What I like to do is bring speakers in to really give them a real life experience about what nursing is, because they can hear it from me all day, but I think to hear from someone with maybe differing opinions or differing experiences kind of gives them a more vast understanding of what nursing is. In addition, I think this serves as a connection point. That's my hope for my students, is that they can meet someone who can further their career someday. So I really want to give my students the opportunity to grow, meet people, and already start networking in their first semester of nursing school.